Orthotic Chips here from Chiappetta Shoes. This is Workshop Live. We are talking to you about an A5 foot type that is a hella supinator. We got a ton of rear foot varus, probably 25 to 30 degrees cocked to the outside. So forefoot has a slight forefoot valgus where we have a slight cock to the inside, and then a large rear foot varus, 25 to 30 degrees cocked to the outside. This guy is all lats, all right? We got that big expanded fifth metatarsal area right on the outside of the foot here. Now, this customer, it's been a tricky one. We've had custom orthotics for about 2 months now. We have not been able to get comfortable. He went pretty much his whole life just wearing normal shoes, flat shoes, and was having a lot of issues because if you look at this custom orthotic, you look at the contour of this, there is a huge, large fifth metatarsal expansion, okay? So when we deal with this kind of stuff, we want to balance the weight off. So what we started with was, let me go top down here. What we started with was good custom orthotic. We have a 3-layer EVA, CHK, and cork. Underneath, we went with a midfoot longitudinal arch bar, rear foot calcaneal bar, and then a lateral wedge on the heel. Now, I don't like these all that much. I know I've talked about it a number of different times. The main issue that this customer has been dealing with was when he has worn these, he's had them for about 2 months, he's not getting nearly enough support from, he's almost getting too much support, where specifically on the left side, he's having a lot of medial knee pain. What I think is going on is that we're balancing the weight off in the foot, we're holding the foot properly, but that lateral heel wedge is tilting the knee in too much. He also has noticed that with usage, it almost feels like the arch, the medial arch, is riding too much here. So we're gonna do a few things today. We're gonna go back to neutral. We're gonna take off these longitudinal arch bars. We're gonna take off the calcaneal bar. We're gonna take off the heel wedge. I'm actually going to scoop out the scaphoid area or the medial arch. We're gonna replace that with 45 EVA, 45 derometer EVA. And then we're gonna put just a 6 mil or a quarter inch heel cushion. We're gonna elevate it just a touch. So we're gonna start off with going over to the grinder, and meet me over there in 2 seconds. There's Pete. So we're kind of starting fresh. I'm still keeping the lateral forefoot wedge as a correct or accommodative measure. Forefoot has a 5 to 10 degree forefoot valgus, so we're filling up the outside, keeping him nice and even off the big toe. We scooped out this medial arch. Now I'm going to fill that up with a 45 durometer EVA. That 45 durometer EVA is softer. This cork right here is a 55 durometer multi-cork. So we're filling it up a little bit differently, and it's still going to give you the contour, but not be nearly as firm underneath that medial arch. The other thing that I'm going to do is on the heel, I'm going to add a 1/4 inch of Poron. It's going to give a really nice cushion to it. So considering the foot and all the situations that we're doing, we're kind of going away from corrective. We're going much more accommodative with this situation. So we get 45 here. And this is a service that Chiappetta Shoes offers unlike any other. We are the best in the business when it comes to this. We do this on the spot. Customer is waiting. This type of project, we're at about 25 minutes, hopefully. All right. Perfect. All right. So, arts and crafts time with Mr. Chipper. All right. So, mark 1. We want to wrap that around the side. I don't like just scooping this out. Structurally, it leaves a weakness with the orthotic and it can break down very easily. We don't want to do that. No. Okay. Cut the same shape for the left side. All right. I think I'm going to take these back over the grinder, just clean up the base of this one just a little bit better. I am a perfectionist when it comes to this stuff. And we like to say, ain't no better than Chiappetta for a reason. So, I always save my scrap. Comes in handy for projects down the road. All right. Perfect. All right, these are getting glued. Touch these up just a touch more. So, again, to recap, foot mechanics, A5 foot type, mild, small to mild forefoot valgus, 5 to 10 degrees, extra large rear foot varus. It's a heavy supinator, and had worn orthotics before. Wearing these was creating a medial strain and pain within the bottom of the knee medial aspect. I think we had the lateral support where we were just putting too much internal rotation on the foot. So we're softening things up, still getting them shape and contour without overdoing it. I'm going to take these over to the grinder real quick. Okay, so we're back in business. We're gonna get these glued up. The heel cushion, I'm gonna use a 6mm 1/4 inch Sport Poron. It's the light blue stuff we use a lot. And my thinking is if we give them a little heel elevation, with full body weight, Sport Poron is gonna compress about 50%. So we're giving them about 1/8 of an inch of extra heel height. I think that'll help with this guy's a tall guy, hard on his feet. Any A-type feet are going to be hard on their feet. As Dr. Carl calls them, they're chandelier shakers. So we're going to get that going. And it's a 2-step process because I want to get a good amount of time for the glue to dry nicely. So we've got these. And we are going to take a break for a minute, let this glue dry in a sec, and we will be right back, folks. And we're back. All right, so let the glue sit a little bit. We're going to get these softening scaphoid pads set up properly. With any manufacturing, you really got to be careful about making sure you're doing things the right way. And if you don't let glue sit for long enough, it is not going to bond properly. So you can't rush this kind of work and make sure it's right. All right. Now, any EVAs are closed cell foam. So when you work with EVAs, they're very nice. They're heat moldable. They can wrap around the side really well. And you want to give it enough time where you're not over baking it, but you just heat it up properly. We do have a Super Money oven that we just got. All right. And I'll show that to you guys sometime soon. But, all right, we want to make sure, get a good bonding process. Get this one. And typically, most EVAs you're going to heat up in an oven 350 for anywhere between 30 to 60 seconds, depending on thickness and durometer. With a 45 durometer under a heat gun, I'd probably do it for about 60 seconds. Make sure you're spreading it out nice and even. And it gets hot, so you gotta be careful. All right. Perfect. Take these to the grinder and then get the pour on that. All right. Little hammer. Mallet action. So this phase, we're just looking to rebalance the insert, still keep it neutral, and level it off. Business. We got the inserts re-leveled, and we're gonna give these a quick toot. All right, Pete, can you throw me the acetone? Rear foot. Thank you, sir. Now, I know I said I wanted to re-level and start fresh, but considering this foot type, sometimes these real high rigid over supinated feet like some extra heel cushion. We're going with 6mm Sport Poron, open cell, spongy material, holds up really well against wear and tear, acts as a great cushioning pad, compresses about down to 50%. We're raising the heel up 1/8 of an inch functionally, okay? So all of these little things for any of you apprentice pit-orthists out there matter big time. Sometimes we have to go complete opposite of what we normally do, and that's okay. I'm also going to note that these orthotics are not that old, and they look like they got the shit kicked out of them. So we're going to see how this does. At Chiappetta Shoes, when we make custom orthotics, we guarantee our inserts for 3 years. We build them to last 5 to 7. Sometimes we get into situations where, you know, we think we're doing the right thing and we have to retool and rework it. And occasionally we have to rebuild an orthotic. Sometimes we do too many modifications and they're beat up. We got to go back to basics and we find out the right recipe and rebuild them. That's typically on us when it comes down to it. 90% of the people we make orthotics for are just good right out of the box or with some slight modifications. Feet are crazy. We can never say we've seen everything. That's a very important thing. You get a doctor that says they've seen everything, you run out of that office. You get a foot guy that says they've seen everything, you run out of that store. Feet can be crazy. When we deal with this many bones and joints and soft tissue, ligaments, tendons, muscles, a lot can go wrong. So when you're dealing with feet, you got to be humble. You got to know that when you're helping somebody, everybody's life experiences are different. Everybody's bone structure is different. A lot of times it's hereditary, passed down from generation to generation, but what you do in life also matters a lot too. So we've got this foot. And look at, we had a lot going on down the middle. We had longitudinal arch bar. We had a calcaneal bar or an arch bar down the side. We had a lateral heel wedge. So we're leveling that all off. We're actually softening the arch up because I think even the standard amount was tilting more to the outside, so we're softening that up. Adding a little heel cushion, keeping the lateral forefoot wedge. I think that is still what I would consider an accommodative measure when we're dealing with this forefoot wedge. So we're not doing any correction at this point in the game. The only correction that we're offering is this extra heel height. And sometimes a little extra heel height for all of you, drop experts out there. You think you know everything. A lot of you don't. Elevation and heel height creates instability within the ankle. I understand that. I know that. And we are looking at all of the different things we've tried so far. And I think that a little extra heel height is going to help stabilize the foot. When we get into the 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch functional heel heights, in addition to standard, that's when we're talking about some more of a correction. So we're going to take this to the grinder, taper it up real quick, and then get you rolling. All right, there we go. Little modification. This has been Workshop Live. A5 foot type, had to retool, readjust. Make sure you check us out, subscribe, tune in, all that good stuff. Talk to you later. Ciao.